To the completely uninitiated, the canon of Dragon Ball can seem positively daunting, and even to those who have been fans since the beginning, it can be tough to keep track of which battles actually happened and which ones don't count towards the primary storyline. Broly has finally been added to the Dragon Ball Super canon with the movie Dragon Ball Super Broly. So now's as good a time as any to catch up on your Dragon Ball lore. Whether you know everything about the series and could use a refresher, or you're new to the franchise, we'll help you figure out what's going on in the canon. Astronomer Carl Sagan once said, "If you wish to make an apple pie from scratch, you must first invent the universe." As we're sure you can imagine, there are tons of twists and turns when it comes to Dragon Ball's timelines. We're not going to waste your time introducing you to characters we're sure you've already heard of, but we do want to set the scene of the Dragon Ball universe by talking about the pantheon of the Kais. The Kais are gods. They rule over various things, varying greatly in strength, and knowing their basic structure is vital to understanding the universe. On the less powerful end of the spectrum, we have King Yema, who decides where the souls of the departed end up. Next, we have Shenron, the dragon god or the eternal dragon. Although he's godly in a sense, he's far from all-powerful. Even if you collect the Dragon Balls, you can't wish for anything that's outside of Shenron's power to grant. Shenron was created by Kami, Earth's guardian, but Kami wasn't just born as a god. He's a Namekian who's so old he can't even remember his own name. Kami just means god or divine being. Above Kami is King Kai, or Kai of the North, who oversees the 4 galaxies in Universe 7, which is where most of our story takes place. He occasionally addresses serious threats in the universe, or trains characters like Goku and Piccolo, among others. Above King Kai is the Grand Kai, who is the king who oversees the 4 Kais: North Kai, West Kai, South Kai, and East Kai, who rule over the 4 quadrants of the universe. Next, we have the Supreme Kai, or Kaioshin, who are in charge of creating and populating worlds. After the Supreme Kai is the Grand Supreme Kai, or Daikaioshin, who lords over the entire universe. Despite being pretty high in rank, even the Grand Supreme Kai isn't all-powerful, as we'll learn later. Then we have Beerus, who's the god of destruction in Universe 7. If there's life in the universe, there must also be death, and maintaining this balance is essential. Beerus fulfills an important purpose, but this doesn't make him an emotionless killing machine. The gods of destruction have assistants known as angels. These angels surpass the gods of destruction in terms of power and teach them to master their destructive capabilities. The angel tasked with attending Beerus is named Whis. The Grand Minister, or Great Priest, is the creator of the angels and serves under the all-powerful Zeno. Zeno is unequivocally the most powerful entity in the Dragon Ball multiverse and is in charge of all the other gods we mentioned. In an instant, Zeno can erase entire universes and even makes the other gods nervous. There's also a fan theory out there which states that Zeno's supposed to represent the audience, who has the power to turn off the TV, deciding what does and what doesn't fit into our personal canons. With that established, let's move on to how the Dragon Ball universe was created. The earliest known event in the Dragon Ball universe takes place in time immemorial. Majin Buu forms, beginning his cycle of rampages and hibernations. Unknown years later, during year 41 of the Divine Calendar, over 100 million years ago, the Super Dragon Balls are created. Around 100 million years before age is when the Kais are believed to start appearing. 25 million years later, drama is already starting. Beerus and Old Kai get into an argument during a meeting, resulting in Old Kai being sealed into the Z-Sword. 10 million years BA is when Planet Eater Moro first appears. As you can guess by his name, he causes more than enough trouble when left to his own devices. Moro causes mass extinctions on 320 planets, and even attacks the Supreme Kais with a maelstrom of comets. The Grand Supreme Kai, Daikaio, seals away Moro's powers, but at the cost of his own godly strength. Moro is given to the Galactic Police, who sentence him to death, but Moro is too strong to kill, so his sentence becomes life imprisonment instead. While that evil wizard is imprisoned, another named Bibidi raises a ruckus of his own 5 billion years later. He summons Majin Buu, who destroys thousands of planets. He also takes out 4 out of the 5 Supreme Kais, but is hindered by Daikaio. Absorbing Daikaio brings goodness into Buu, altering his appearance and turning him into the childlike Fat Buu. Bibidi is eventually taken out by the remaining Supreme Kai Shin. 4,237 years BA, Garlic Jr.'s ancestors migrate from the Makio star to Earth. At 237 years BA, Master Roshi's friend Turtle is born. form, so if you've ever wondered which of the two was older, here's your answer. During age 261, King Yema travels Snake Way to train under King Kai. Meanwhile, on planet Namek, violent storms ravage the planet. Kata sends his son away on a spaceship to save his life. All the others perish with the exception of Guru and some exiled Namekians. Since Namekians reproduce asexually, they're able to slowly rebuild their race. On Earth, Master Roshi is born during age 430, and shortly after, the nameless Namekian begins training alongside Garlic under Earth's current Kami. Roshi turns 18 and begins training under Master Mutaito before falling for a woman named Fanfan. Master Roshi being sweet on a girl isn't news, but on this occasion, it opened a rift between him and fellow pupil Master Shen. The Kami of Earth chooses the nameless Namekian as his successor. Garlic doesn't take kindly to the choice and attempts to overthrow the Earth, but is banished to the Dead Zone. In order to become Kami, the Namekian needs to purge himself of the evil in his being. That evil materializes as the fearsome King Piccolo, who plunges the Earth into chaos. Master Mutaito manages to seal King Piccolo inside of an electric rice cooker, using a move called the Evil Containment Wave. The good news is that it works, but the bad news is Master Mutaito perishes in the process. During age 470, the new Kami creates the Dragon Balls. Thankfully, they're much smaller than the Super Dragon Balls, around 3 inches in diameter. When all 7 of them are collected, they can be used to summon the Dragon Shenron, who grants the bearer one wish. After the Dragon Balls are created, the first Saiyans arrive on planet Plant. While many fans would claim that Saiyans are from Vegeta, they're not wrong. They just didn't originate there. Before that, they lived on a planet called Sadala, which became uninhabitable, forcing the Saiyans to relocate. They settled on planet Plant, which would later be renamed Vegeta. But the Saiyans aren't the only denizens to find themselves on planet Plant. The Saiyan Tuffle War plays out in Dragon Ball GT, but that plotline was mentioned in Dragon Ball Z. Because of this, we consider the conflict canon, although we're sure you can guess who won. About 100 years after Vegeta's conquest, the first World Martial Arts Tournament is held on Earth. In age 710, the 13th World Martial Arts Tournament is held, with Master Roshi taking the title. Planet Vegeta and its people are annexed by King Cold and his army, forced to work for him, conquering other planets for profit. The Saiyans flourished in this field. In fact, King Cold's son Frieza realized they were perhaps a bit too good at conquering. King Vegeta was terribly proud of his son, Prince Vegeta, and was perturbed when another Saiyan showed an abnormally high power level. Yes, we're talking about Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan. King Vegeta exiled baby Broly and his father Paragus to the faraway planet Vampa to live out the rest of their lives. Meanwhile, a low-level soldier named Bardock and his wife Gine become suspicious of Frieza and fear for their son Kakarot, so they load him onto a spaceship, launching him to Earth. Confirming Bardock's suspicions, Frieza destroys planet Vegeta and just about everyone on it. Little Kakarot lands safely on Earth and is discovered by Master Roshi's former student Son Gohan, who names him Son Goku. Goku begins training under Grandpa Gohan, who realizes that if the child glances at the full moon, he would become a massive, unstoppable giant ape called an Uzaru. One fateful evening, Goku goes outside to use the bathroom and transforms. The great ape tramples Grandpa Gohan, killing him and leaving young Goku alone with no memory of what happened to his beloved grandfather. All that remains is the 4-star Dragon Ball, which Goku naively believes to contain Grandpa Gohan's soul. All of that happened before the Dragon Ball series even started. Now we meet Bulma, a teenage girl looking to collect all the Dragon Balls so she can wish for a boyfriend. She encounters Goku, who had never seen a human besides his late grandfather before. Goku refuses to part with his grandfather's memento, so he accompanies Bulma on her journey. The two of them help Turtle, who had gotten lost gathering mushrooms, find his way back to Master Roshi. In doing so, they discover the 3rd Dragon Ball, which Master Roshi found in the ocean some time ago. Along their journey, Bulma and Goku encounter characters like Oolong the Transforming Pig, Yamcha the Desert Bandit, and his close friend Puar. They also encounter the terrifying Ox King, who turns out to be not so bad, along with his daughter Chi-Chi, who asks Goku to marry her. Oblivious to what that means, Goku agrees. Their quest brings them to the castle of Emperor Pilaf and his cronies Shu and Mai, who steal the Dragon Balls, leaving our heroes trapped in their castle. Goku transforms into an ape, and his friends narrowly escape by removing Goku's tail, which turns him back, but not before destroying Pilaf's castle. castle. Despite having all the Dragon Balls, Pilaf's wish never comes true because he's interrupted by Oolong, who wishes for a pair of underpants. With the wish made, the Dragon Balls scatter, and since they're inert for 1 year, Goku begins training with Master Roshi, along with fellow student Krillin. Their training is intense, but the two form a strong bond. Goku and Krillin enter the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament along with Yamcha, where Goku faces a competitor named Jackie Chun, who's actually Master Roshi in disguise. During their bout, Goku, whose tail had recently grown back, sees the full moon above the arena, triggering his transformation yet again. Faced with destruction, Roshi fires a max-power Kamehameha at the moon, vaporizing it and returning Goku to normal. Roshi takes the world title, which inspires Goku to never stop training. After this, Goku sets out to reclaim his father's 4-star Dragon Ball. However, the nefarious Red Ribbon Army is also searching, and has already found 2 of them. Goku manages to recover the 2 and 5-star balls quickly, while also defeating Colonel Silver and General White of the army. The Red Ribbon Army pulls out all the stops, hiring famed mercenary Tao Pai Pai, who defeats Goku in combat, and steals his bag of Dragon Balls, but not Goku's recently found 4-star ball, hidden in his gi. Tao Pai Pai also murders Bora, the guardian of Korin's tower and father of Upa. Incensed by the loss of Bora, Goku climbs Korin's tower and obtains the sacred water like his master had done many years earlier. Empowered by his training with Korin and the sacred water, which is really just tap water, Goku stomps mercenary Tao and tears through the Red Ribbon Army, obliterating their forces. Goku's radar can't locate the final ball, and Master Roshi suggests that he and Bulma visit his sister, fortune teller Baba. Baba agrees to share the location of the last ball, but only if Goku and company can defeat 5 of her spooky fighters in an otherworldly tournament. Goku, Krillin, and Yamcha defeat all 5 fighters, revealing the 5th and strongest of them to be the spirit of the deceased Son Gohan. Goku's reunion with his grandfather is brief, as Emperor Pilaf emerges once more to steal back the balls. Pilaf's efforts again fall short, and Goku fulfills his promise to Upa. Goku then goes on a few adventures and meets Tien and Chaozu, students of Master Roshi's rival, Master Shen, the Crane Hermit. Shortly after, Goku competes in the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament. Everyone reunites, and the tournament gets underway. Each fighter gives it their all, but Tien ultimately emerges as the champion after an earth-shattering match with Goku. In the tournament's aftermath, Krillin is murdered by a flying creature named Tambourine, who's collecting Dragon Balls for the recently freed Demon King Piccolo. Goku faces off against Piccolo, but is beaten. Piccolo then kills both Master Roshi and Chaozu, using the Dragon Balls they'd gathered to wish for restored youth, and immediately kills Shenron, making any further wishes impossible. Things seem hopeless at that point, but through determination, teamwork, and the help of the Ultra Divine Water, Goku manages to defeat Piccolo by literally launching himself through his chest. We're not kidding about that part. Although just before collapsing, Piccolo manages to launch one final egg into the distance that hatches the Piccolo Jr. that everyone knows and loves. With Shenron destroyed, Goku climbs to Kami's lookout, hoping that he'll restore the dragon and his friends. Goku's character restores Kami's faith in the world, and he restores Shenron under the condition that Goku spend 3 years training with him to prepare for a rematch against Piccolo Jr. He also fixes the moon and permanently removes Goku's tail. When the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament arrives, everyone is surprised by how much Goku had grown. This tournament puts all the others to shame and showcases the results of everyone's training. It concludes with the momentous bout between Piccolo Jr. and Goku, each combatant totally matched in power, speed, and skill. The battle reduces the original tournament grounds to rubble, but Goku holds out, managing to defeat Piccolo with another flying headbutt that also happens to knock him out of the tournament ring. Goku not only manages to save the planet, but also secures his very first and only World Martial Arts title. In a move that would pretty much become his trademark throughout the rest of the franchise, Goku stops Kami from killing Piccolo. With the close of the Piccolo saga and a brief adventure where Goku has to once again douse the flames of Mount Frypan and marry Chi-Chi, the original Dragon Ball franchise comes to a close. Between the original Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, Goku and Chi-Chi have a son called Gohan. In the depths of space, Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz are scheming ways to overthrow their master Frieza, and Raditz departs to find his long-lost brother Kakarot, known to us as Goku. Raditz overpowers Goku and Piccolo, and steals Gohan as bait. Goku and Piccolo are forced to work together against Raditz, and are eventually able to beat him, but at the cost of Goku's life. Raditz gloats to Piccolo that 2 even more powerful Saiyans will arrive in 1 year to take the Dragon Balls. Balls. Impressed by his potential, Piccolo kidnaps Gohan, intent on training him to combat the Saiyans, and then ironically turn him against Goku, who he still considers a rival. Meanwhile, Goku's spirit appears in Otherworld at King Yama's palace, who at Kami's request permits him to train under his former master King Kai, situated at the far end of the ethereal Snake Way. Rumored to be 1 million kilometers long, Goku immediately departs. Back on Earth, the human fighters train at Kami's lookout under Mr. Popo. Piccolo kicks off Gohan's training by abandoning him atop a massive plateau with one instruction: survive. However, Piccolo takes pity on the child and provides him food and clothing, the first cracks in his evil exterior beginning to show. After 177 days and a few filler mishaps along the way, Goku arrives at King Kai's planet to begin his training at 10 times Earth's gravity. During this time, Gohan sees the full moon and transforms into a great ape. Piccolo takes care of this, though, by destroying the moon a second time. Vegeta and Nappa spend most of this time sleeping in their space pods, but they do make a few pit stops to stretch their legs and commit heinous acts of genocide against the Arlians. Eventually, the day of the Saiyans arrives. Goku is wished back to life and begins his trek back from King Kai's planet. The Earthlings give it their all, but are quickly wiped out by the Saiyan Cybermen and Nappa. Even Piccolo, Goku's greatest rival at that time, meets his demise in a touching moment of self-sacrifice by diving in front of a lethal blast from Nappa. Goku arrives in the nick of time and saves Gohan and Krillin. Goku dispatches Nappa and faces Vegeta. The two fighters go all out. Goku shatters his body by pushing his Kaioken technique past his physical limits, and Vegeta's humbled by the determination of Earth's fighters. After a brawl that includes 2 Oozaru transformations, a successful Spirit Bomb detonation, and a clutch last-minute save by Yajirobe, Vegeta's finally beaten. But of course, Goku begs Krillin to spare Vegeta's life. Unbeknownst to everyone, tiny robots had been deployed by Dr. Gero of the Red Ribbon Army to collect blood samples and capture data for his future androids and the creation of Cell. More on that later. With Piccolo, and by extension Kami, dead, the Dragon Balls stop working. So the heroes of Earth must venture to Kami's homeworld to use their Dragon Balls to wish back their friends. Unbeknownst to them, Frieza had already learned of the Dragon Balls and was headed to Namek to wish for immortality. Bulma, Krillin, and Gohan fly to Namek while Goku's forced to stay in the hospital waiting to heal. On Frieza's planet, Vegeta's brought back to fighting hell. Upon learning Frieza's intentions, however, Vegeta makes a beeline for Namek. Gohan, Bulma, and Krillin arrive on Namek, but realize that they're not alone, sensing Frieza's terrible strength. Vegeta also arrives on Namek, to Krillin and Gohan's horror, and sets out to steal the Dragon Balls for himself. At this point, Goku's mended by the Senzu Beans and takes off toward Namek in a new ship built by Bulma's father, Professor Briefs. En route, he tortures his body, training at 100 times Earth's gravity. Enraged by Vegeta, Frieza summons the Ginyu Force in order to take him out and secure the Dragon Balls. Terrified at their arrival, Vegeta forges a tentative alliance with Krillin and Gohan in order to survive. They put up a good fight, but are trounced by Recoome, the largest of the Ginyu Force. Luckily for them, Goku arrives at the nick of time and dispatches the remaining members again. However, Goku's tricked by Captain Ginyu and has his body swapped, leaving Goku to die in Ginyu's old, mortally wounded body. Ginyu is outsmarted though and swaps bodies again, returning Goku, but ultimately being tricked into the body of a Namekian frog. With his body wrecked by Ginyu's shenanigans, Goku's placed in a healing chamber on Frieza's vacant ship. Frieza, at this time, is distracted by one of the last surviving Namekians, Nail, sworn protector of Guru. Nail gives it his all, but is beaten to a pulp by the Galactic Tyrant. Seizing the opportunity, Gohan, Krillin, and the young Namekian Dende summon the Dragon Purunga. They're able to get 2 wishes granted before Guru dies, deactivating the Dragon Balls. With those wishes, Piccolo's revived and brought to Namek to help hold off Frieza. Vegeta and Frieza both realize what's happening and take off toward the dragon, only to arrive the moment it disappears. Vegeta, Piccolo, Gohan, and Krillin struggle to hold back Frieza long enough for Goku to return to full health, but barely make it. All healed up, Goku rushes to the battlefield to find Vegeta dying by Frieza's hand. In a moment of true humility, Vegeta recognizes Goku's strength and begs him to avenge the Saiyan race. Vegeta laughs that Goku's finally become a Super Saiyan, but is cut short by Frieza. Goku buries Vegeta and turns to Frieza, kicking off what is probably the most famous and lengthy fight in all of anime. Goku appears to stand a chance against Frieza, but the gap widens quickly. Even when utilizing a 20 times Kaioken multiplier, Goku's at Frieza's mercy. Goku gathers up energy for a spectacular spirit bomb, calling on his friends to distract Frieza. Goku thrusts the bomb toward Frieza, catching him unaware. The impact rocks the planet and gouges a massive crater. Although Frieza first appears defeated, he reappears, taking out Piccolo and brutally killing Krillin. This pushes Goku over the edge. With an anguished scream, Goku erupts with golden energy and light, his hair lifting straight upward and glowing bright yellow. Goku becomes the Super Saiyan of legend. As a Super Saiyan, Goku's finally able to defeat Frieza as Namek crumbles around them. With no time to spare, Goku manages to find a ship and escape Namek. He lands on the planet Yardrat, where he studies and perfects the instant transmission technique. Back on Earth, the heroes use the Dragon Balls to revive all of their fallen comrades, along with creating a new homeworld for the revived Namekians. In the year between these events and Goku's return, Garlic Jr. comes back with a vengeance, but is quickly dealt with by Gohan and the gang. Vegeta, however, heads off into space in search of Goku. Unknown to everyone, Cell in his larval form arrives from future Trunks' timeline and burrows into the Earth to hibernate for several years. Fast forward a year, and the mostly mechanized Frieza and his father King Cold come to Earth seeking revenge. A mysterious Super Saiyan appears and makes quick work of both space tyrants. This Saiyan turns out to be Trunks, the son of Vegeta and Bulma, who traveled back in time to warn Goku of a terrible threat coming 3 years from now. He describes Goku's untimely death to a heart virus and 2 androids built by Dr. Gero of the Red Ribbon Army, powerful enough to wipe out all the remaining fighters. He gives Goku medicine to protect from the virus and disappears in his time machine. This is an important moment because it officially creates the new divergent timeline of Dragon Ball, which will continue to play an important role in the franchise going forward. Everyone works to prepare for the eventual fight, and Vegeta even manages to achieve the form of Super Saiyan. A relationship forms between him and Bulma, resulting in the birth of Trunks. The 24th World Martial Arts Tournament also takes place during this time, with Mr. Satan emerging as the new world champion. On the day Trunks warned, androids 19 and 20 emerge and wreak havoc, until confronted by the fighters. Goku falls to the heart virus and is forced to retreat. Luckily, Vegeta is able to dispatch Android 19 with his new strength, and future Trunks also arrives around this time. Android 20, who's actually Dr. Gero, retreats to his lab to activate Androids 17 and 18. They kill Dr. Gero in an act of rebellion and awaken Android 16 before future Trunks can stop them. Vegeta challenges Android 18, but is beaten. Cell emerges and begins consuming entire cities of humans. Piccolo confronts Cell and learns that he's a life form created from the DNA of the greatest fighters in the universe. Piccolo convinces Kami to fuse with him, granting another massive boost in power, while Krillin and future Trunks destroy Gero's lab, eradicating present-day Cell. Goku's health stabilizes just as future Trunks and Vegeta enter the hyperbolic time chamber to train. Piccolo challenges Android 17 and puts up a great fight until Cell appears and absorbs 18. Trunks and Vegeta emerge from the time chamber, with Goku and Gohan going in and challenge Cell. Vegeta has the upper hand, but pridefully allows Cell to absorb 18 and reach his perfect form. Cell immediately beats that pride out of Vegeta. Perfect Cell televises his announcement of the Cell Games, a tournament to decide the fate of the planet. Dende comes to Earth to take Kami's place as Earth's new guardian. The Cell Games begin, with Mr. Satan receiving the slap of a lifetime, and then Goku steps up to the challenge. Goku forfeits this match, sending Gohan to take his place. Cell knocks Gohan around, pushing him closer and closer to the brink before killing the reformed Android 16, which pushes Gohan right over the edge, unlocking the Super Saiyan 2 form. Gohan demolishes Cell, forcing him to eject Android 18 and reverting to his semi-perfect form. Cell swells to a massive size, threatening to destroy the planet, so Goku sacrifices himself by teleporting both him and Cell to King Kai's planet, which is obliterated. Cell reappears on Earth, using Goku's instant transmission technique. Gohan is forced to give it his all in a Kamehameha showdown, managing to eradicate Cell at the molecular level. Trunks returns to his own timeline, and the Z-Fighters mourn the loss of Goku, who refuses to be revived since his presence attracts powerful foes, endangering everybody. Then, everyone goes their separate ways. Goku trains under King Kai and participates in the Afterlife tournament, while Mr. Satan takes credit for defeating Cell and grows incredibly rich and famous. Soon after, Goten is born to Chi-Chi. Krillin and Android 18 marry and have their daughter Marin, Bulma and Vegeta get married, and Gohan enrolls in high school. Gohan meets Videl, the daughter of Mr. Satan, and the two grow close. Supreme Kai and his assistant Kibito come to Earth in search of Majin Buu's resting place, fearing his reemergence. 7 years after Cell, the 25th World Martial Arts Tournament is held, and Goku's granted 1 day on Earth to participate. Things are cut short by the appearance of 2 fighters working for the evil wizard Babidi. The Z fighters follow Supreme Kai and Kibito to Babidi's hideout, hoping to stop Boo's reemergence, but are met with resistance. At the precipice of success, Vegeta is seduced by Babidi's promises of power, and comes under his influence. The clash between Goku and Majin Vegeta breaks Majin Buu's seal, releasing the Pink Menace. Vegeta sacrifices himself in an attempt to destroy Majin Buu, but his effort is in vain, as Buu effortlessly reforms. The Z fighters scramble for a way to beat Buu. Goten and Trunks learn the fusion dance in order to form Gotenks, and Goku unveils his Super Saiyan 3 form against Buu. Meanwhile, Gohan's at the Sacred Kai planet, training under Old Kai. Buu later turns on Babidi, freeing him from his control. As Buu explores the world on his own, he befriends Mr. Satan and a puppy, along with a few other characters. This fuels the conflict within Buu that ultimately results in him splitting apart into Good Buu and the more powerful Evil Buu, who overpowers and absorbs Good Buu, creating the insanely powerful Super Buu. Super Buu tracks down the remaining Z fighters on Kami's lookout and demands to fight Gotenks. The two battle inside the hyperbolic time chamber and then out on the lookout, but Buu still wins. Gohan then challenges Buu after unlocking his ultimate potential, but is also consumed. Goku and Vegeta are forced to fuse into Vegito and free Trunks, Goten, Piccolo, Gohan, and Good Buu from within the monster. This reverts Buu to his purest form, Kid Buu, who immediately destroys the entire Earth. The final showdown with Kid Buu takes place on the sacred world of the Kai. Vegeta and Goku face off against Buu, with the fight culminating in the use of the greatest spirit bomb ever seen. With Buu defeated and the Earth restored, Goku hopes that Buu will be reincarnated as a good person, so that they might have a rematch someday. Hearing his wish, King Yama secretly grants it, allowing Buu to be reborn as the peaceful Oob. With that, the current Dragon Ball canon, which excludes GT, comes to a close, only to be picked back up again nearly 20 years later with the unveiling of Dragon Ball Super. Dragon Ball Super technically kicked off with the film Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods on March 30th, 2013. The official canonicity of this film is kind of messy, as it serves as the basis for the Beerus saga in Dragon Ball Super, but differs in various specifics. The plot follows the god of destruction Beerus coming to Earth in search of a prophesied Super Saiyan god. When his search comes up short, Beerus decides to destroy the Earth for his troubles. Desperate for solutions, the heroes of Earth turn to Shenron for help. Shenron, who's visibly terrified of Beerus, describes an ancient ritual that could trigger the transformation of a Super Saiyan god. Earth Saiyans perform this ritual, and Goku takes on a new, slender, red-haired form. With his new form, Goku gradually catches up to speed with Beerus, their gargantuan power even threatening the very existence of the universe. In the end, Beerus comes out on top, but is impressed by Goku's determination and is probably even more impressed by Earth's incredible delicacies. After this battle, Whis takes Goku and Vegeta under his tutelage, explaining that he in fact taught Beerus everything he knows. Around the same time, Frieza's revived by the remnants of his army, and fueled by revenge, sets off to train for the first time in his life. Pan's also born to Gohan and Videl. Less than a year after Beerus and Goku's fight, Frieza and his army descend on the Earth, taking the Z fighters by surprise. They manage to fight off most of Frieza's forces as Goku and Vegeta speed back from their training with Whis. The pure-blood Saiyans arrive just in time to challenge the overconfident Frieza, but are surprised to learn of his latest transformation, Golden Frieza. Luckily, Goku and Vegeta had managed to unlock their own new forms, Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, known as Super Saiyan Blue for short, and make quick work of the tyrant. Again, refusing to be beat, Frieza destroys the Earth in an instant, but his action is reversed by Whis, giving Goku the opportunity to finish him off for good. With Frieza once again destroyed, everyone returns to their lives, but the peace is interrupted by the appearance of Beerus' brother Champa, the god of destruction for Universe 6. Champa's jealous of Earth's incredible food, as his universe's version of Earth had been wiped of all life. Champa challenges Beerus to a tournament between the two universes, with Universe 7's Earth as a prize for Champa, and 6 of the Super Dragon Balls for Beerus. Each universe sends 5 fighters who clash in the fearsome tournament. Vegeta learns of Universe 6's intact planet Sadala from the young Saiyan Kaba, and vows to visit it someday. Goku fights against the time-manipulating mercenary Hit, and finds out that the two are completely matched, with the only way to end the match being if Hit were to actually kill Goku using his special abilities. Because of this, Goku forfeits the match, leaving Hit to fight the mysterious Monaka, who Beerus had lied about out being even stronger than Goku. Hit realizes this, though, and throws the match against Monaka, prompting Goku to further buy into the lie. With that, Universe 7 officially wins the Tournament of Destroyers. The childlike Zeno then crashes the festivities, saying that he enjoyed watching the fights and wants to throw his own tournament, but with all 12 universes. Goku introduces himself, and the two shake hands, much to the horror of all the gods present. Beerus uses the Super Dragon Balls to wish that Universe 6's Earth be restored, a parting gift for his twin brother. Shortly after, future Trunks arrives in his time machine, looking for aid in fighting a new horrible opponent named Black. Goku and Vegeta go with Trunks to his future and challenge the villain who's identical to Goku. Beerus and Whis discover that Goku Black is in fact the Supreme Kai in training for Universe 10, who had been corrupted by evil intentions, and stole Goku's body using the Super Dragon Balls. Beerus destroys Zamasu in the present timeline in order to stop him from carrying out his plan. However, this doesn't change future Trunks' timeline, as the frequent time travel has caused it to split into its own universe. So Goku and Vegeta return to take on Goku Black once and for all. Outmatched, Goku Black and another iteration of Zamasu decide to fuse into fused Zamasu, whose raw godly energy threatens to consume the entire universe. Goku and Vegeta once again fuse into Vegito in order to challenge him, but are still unable to defeat the immortal being. Fused Zamasu expands and corrupts the entirety of future Trunks' universe, prompting the Zeno from that timeline to appear and completely erase it. With that, future Trunks and future Mai are stranded in the present, but decide that they can cut out a life for themselves somewhere on their own. Goku introduces future Zeno to present Zeno, fulfilling a promise he made to introduce him to a new friend. Shortly after, the two Zenos officially announce the Tournament of Power, where each of the 12 universes will have to fight it out in a battle royale which will determine their survival. During the tournament, each universe fights valiantly, but it ultimately winds down to just Goku, Frieza, and Android 17 against the incomparably powerful Jiren the Grey from Universe 11. During his fights with Jiren, Goku taps into the Ultra Instinct technique, which even the gods of destruction have difficulty attaining. In the end, Jiren's brought down by an unbelievable combined effort of Goku, Frieza, and Android 17, leaving just Android 17 as the sole survivor and winner of the Super Dragon Ball wish. He wishes that every universe be restored, which surprises everyone except for Zeno, who expected it all along. Frieza is revived once more, as Whis promised, and departs to rebuild his forces, which finally brings us to the events of Dragon Ball Super Broly. Most of the beginning to Dragon Ball Super Broly actually takes place long before the original Dragon Ball, dealing with Broly's father Paragus and their exile from the planet Vegeta. In the present, just after the Tournament of Power, Earth's heroes are caught off guard by the sudden disappearance of Bulma's 6 Dragon Balls. It turns out Frieza stole them, but only because he wants to wish to be 5 centimeters taller. During his time in Hell, he realized that immortality wasn't all that it's cracked up to be. During this time, 2 of Frieza's scouts discover the marooned Broly and Paragus on planet Vampa, and bring them back to Frieza. Frieza explains to Paragus that Vegeta's on Earth, giving Paragus the opportunity for revenge that he always dreamt of. Goku and Vegeta arrive to greet Frieza's ship, and recognize that Paragus and Broly are both Saiyans. Eventually, the battle erupts, and Broly pushes Goku and Vegeta to their absolute limits, even forcing them to perform the fusion dance to become Gogeta. The battle has been touted as one of the most intense fights in anime history, but ultimately ends with Broly being banished back to planet Vampa to fight another day. Beyond Dragon Ball Super Broly, there are only a few more notable official canon events, the most recent being the Galactic Patrol Prisoner Saga, which saw the return of the Wizard Moro. Several years later, we finally catch up to the events depicted at the very end of Dragon Ball Z, where Goku and friends participate in the 28th World Martial Arts Tournament and encounter Oob, the good reincarnation of Boo. Impressed by Oob's strength, Goku offers to take him under his wing as a new student. The two fly off into the distance, making it a perfect ending for Dragon Ball Z. Past this point, the definitions of what exactly is canon in Dragon Ball begins to get murky. There are many events sprinkled throughout other properties like Dragon Ball Xenoverse, Dragon Ball GT, and more, but to be able to fully flesh out the enormous amount of Dragon Ball content, we need at least 5 more of these videos. And that was only a brief overview of the current Dragon Ball canon timeline. Did we leave out any of your favorite moments or details from the Dragon Ball franchise? Let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to CBR for more Dragon Ball content. Thanks for watching.